Hello, everybody. It's Big Al with the season update for Lord of the Rings Rise to War. We started our season countdown finally. I want to say it started on either day 46 or 45. So that means season cutoff will be at day 54 ish, 53 or 54. So we were able to get the timer started a little bit early, a couple days early. Not early enough, but it did help. So, really not much going on here. The season's been over way before the counter started. So I'm going to go to the map. As you see, there's still plenty of pins, but for the most part, it's all just friendly PvP. We tried to get down here in the Dead Marshes a PvP area with Gondor and Mordor and Erebor. So, as you see, they're smaller pins. Some fighting over here, but again, it's just friendly PvP. Ingmar and Rohan have been going at it pretty good for the last couple weeks, and Lyndon has gotten into some as well. So, pretty much for the last week of the season, you generally try to get relic quests done, things like that, if the season is obvious how it ends. Well, we kind of started those early. I went up and flew here. I'll zoom in. I flew over here and did Weathertop with Eagles about 5 days ago, I want to say, and that was one of the relic quests for Aragon the Second, the Strider version. And then this morning, Loda and I helped them as well. Went over here for Arid Loon Keep for Falgon's Relic. We did Durn's Tower earlier in the season, but that was kind of just because we were there, because that was one of the areas we needed to defend. So, as you see, over our Erebor Kingdom was Dome, Loda, and Azz. There was some tensions throughout the season, but for the most part, we worked well. Loda was able to hold off and fight Mordor over here. We fought Mordor. We came over here, fought Gondor, and we secured the center. So, pretty much came down to then you have the Gondor faction, which is ORAS and AVAR. You have the Rohan, Nino, and then you have a couple small LCDA, Chill. Dawn is Angmar. Lothlorien was Iron and Lost. Iron is led by Isgrim, and he likes chaos in a server. So we were allies with half of Loth, with the Lost Fellowship, but the Iron Fellowship, led by Isgrim, just wanted to make trouble between Erebor and Angmar. So that's how that went. Lyndon did pretty well. They started off and they were getting pushed. They pushed Angmar, then Angmar pushed back and pretty much had them on the run. But then it became a little bit more even when Rohan was able to help out. And for the most part, it seems like they had a really good season. They were friendly the entire time that they were fighting. There was pushing back. So it sounds like they had a really good season. Our season, if some of the diplomacy wasn't there, we would have had a more fun season. I feel diplomacy ruins a lot of servers because people start getting too heavy in diplomacy. Or they try to get set servers and say, okay, we're going to do these teams against these teams. Well, once you get in the server, there's teams that weren't involved, and then they either get screwed or they cause trouble. So that's one of the reasons I stay out of the diplomacy side of it. I'd rather just play, help my team any way I can, and have fun. And I will help anyone with their gear or formations, whether you're your friend or foe, which I have proven this season. Many people from Rohan, Gundor, even a couple in Mordor, and Loth have asked for help, and I have helped them out. It turns out that quite a few will be joining us next season, so that works even better. So, like I said, there's really not much to talk about in the season end because the season's been over for a little bit. Personal production pretty much comes down to what you need to stay in the fight. With the way I fight and things I have to do, my production isn't as high as most people's. I have learned to do the most with the least amount of resources because I'd rather let some of my other players on my team get the resources that need them because I'm very big on efficiency. But as you see, we do have Lickdom from Dome, who's in second. Nox and Dawn is first. You got another Dawn player in third. Then you got some Gundor, more Dome. You got a Lorien here, some Gundor, and some more Erebor. Let's go to the merit. I am not a big fighter. I am more about siege, doing what needs to be done, side quests, things like that. I did do quite a bit of fighting early on because it was needed, because we are a newer team and a lot of newer players. So I got 1.6 million merit. Drugs and Zombies has 4.9, and that was the leader. I mean, there has been some fighting. It is a smaller server, but there has been some fighting, which is good. And it varies on, as you can see through the top 20, you got pretty much somebody from every faction, so that's nice to see. As long as everybody can be friendly, there's no reason you shouldn't have fun in this game. As far as fellowships go, we have the most production with 2.3 million. Next is Rohan, which has topped out Loda, which is a big surprise because Rohan Nino was fourth or fifth for most of the season, and over the last few days have jumped their production very high. So they jumped over Loda and Mega in Mordor. I think more people are just worried about fighting than trying to get the tiles. That's the way I am. For the next week, I'm just going to try to get my 40k merit coins to get my Elven Hammer, and then I'll do the same when it resets right before the server shuts down. Because right now I have 8 seasonal, so I should have 10 seasonal Elven Hammers by the time we go to Bag End, and then I have 9 regular hammers. Because I plan on dismantling pretty much all my gold gear and just starting fresh, and I'm going to do a video on that so that I can hopefully help teach everyone what you're looking for when you're doing gear. So it will be a little bit longer video because I'm really starting all over. Because as you can see, I got 10, 14. Okay, don't need that one. So I got 13 different gold items to break down. And let's see, do I have any? Nope, and I don't have any out here. I have them all used. So that's what we're looking at for Bag End. Well, I'll break everything down on our last day before we go to Bag End, and I'll do that video. And then I plan on doing some Evil Commander guides while we're in Bag End before we start our new season, because I can't do them during season with roleplay. So I plan on doing one on Shadow, Sauron. My Sauron is, I think, R1, but I'll probably do one on him as well, just so people see what they're fighting against, things like that. Well, I hope you enjoyed my season updates this season. I will be doing it obviously next season as well, and I will keep putting out different tactic guides, different commander guides, updates like that. So please like and subscribe my channel. If you need help with gear, always message me either here or on Discord. Okay? So, as always, make the most out of what you got.